Peter said that this is where he came from drawing. I was the opposite. I was not the word kid. I was the total drawing kid. Do you guys know that Ford commercial where that little guy is trying to kick? It's a drawing. It's a line drawing of a guy trying to put stuff in the trunk, and it's demonstrating that. You know what I'm talking about? Yes. It's an old Italian cartoon called La Linea. And I saw it on the Great Space Coaster when I was a little kid. So it embedded, yep, exactly. So it embedded in my head, and then this is how I draw now. So I have this really weird job. I'm a graphic facilitator. When people are having meetings, I map out their meetings while they're talking. So my job is to draw in front of people for a living and show them what they're saying. So I'm excited to have just a little bit of time with you today to introduce a model I created because, like Peter was saying, people usually have a very specific idea about drawing, and I love that you said that when you brought sketching into your process, that it really changed the kind of work you were doing, and that it broadened it. I want nothing more than to help people broaden their definition of drawing, because people have an extremely narrow definition that they don't feel fits in their life. So to that end, I created something called the Draw Quad, which is based on a model by Ken Wilber. You'll find him in the metaphysics section, so some people are probably already going like, what the heck? It's just a 2x2 matrix. And don't we all love a 2x2 matrix? What he did is he talked about what's internal, the left side is internal. And what he was trying to do was trying to explain how all the world's religions and political systems fit together. And I'm not going to explain that today. I can let him do that. But the idea is that you've got the left side of the model is internal, the right-hand side of the model is external. The top half is the individual, the bottom half is the collective. So this creates 4 quadrants. The first quadrant is your own individual internal experience. That's your own subjective experience. This is the I quadrant. The individual external experience is sort of what is objective, what you can see outside of yourself. That's the it quadrant. I spelled his name wrong. The collective internal is what we share as a group. It's sort of the culture that we share. Internally, this is the we quadrant. And lastly, the collective external are sort of infrastructures, resources, systems. This is the its quadrant. So it's a model I learned years ago, and I love that it just sort of gave me an opportunity to look at things more broadly. And when I started thinking about drawing, I thought, hey, wait a second. This could marry really well with different types of drawing. So the first quadrant we'll look at is this one here. Oh, by the way, I'm the kind of digital that likes this kind of digital. I'm a hands-on learner. I want things to be physical, so I said instead of slides, I'm just going to use paper. So the first quadrant, the it quadrant. Oh my gosh, look what's happening. Yep, cut and paste. Is drawing to see. This is drawing to represent. So this is drawing the thing to look like the thing you're drawing, because it's drawing objectively. This is what freaks people out. This is what scares people silly, because they're like, I drew a zebra, it doesn't look like a zebra, what's going on? So here, some folks think this is the only drawing that matters, but in this model, drawing's so much more. This is only 1/4 of the kind of drawing you can do. What I'm super excited about is, and what I try to do, is broaden people's definition, if only to get them into this quadrant. And this quadrant is your internal subjective experience. This is drawing to think, thinking through your ideas. So this idea is things like mind mapping, sketchnoting, just anytime you kind of like, you're stuck on something, you're like, all right, just give me a pen and paper and let me figure it out. So this is internal and individual, drawing to think through your ideas. So the next quadrant is the collective internal, drawing to show. This is the idea of drawing to communicate a specific idea to a specific audience. So I think this is what a lot of folks do with information graphics, with advertising. You are creating an image that needs to convey something that's specific. And then finally, the last quadrant, which is the external collective, is drawing to do. This is drawing to facilitate. So this is what I do for a living when I'm the one person in the room who's there dedicated to capturing the conversation and showing it, reflecting it back to the group. My hunch in this group is a lot of folks here bounce between these two sides. going between drawing to create a specific image, to get an idea out there that's specific, and drawing to help the process. So an overarching thing, which we'll talk more in this afternoon, when we talk about eradicating illophobia. By the way, no word existed for being afraid of drawing. And how many people are terrified of drawing? So illophobia, I just made it up, feel free to use it. So if we look at this more broadly, imagine an X, two diagonal lines going through this model. These two quadrants are more focused on process. This is drawing as a verb. So these are drawings that tend to be faster and messier, because you're just trying to get things to the next step. The line that goes through these two quadrants, the see and the show quadrants, are drawing more as a product, more as a noun. So these are drawings that do tend to be more accurate and refined. And I love Peter's example. It's sort of like this is sort of the first diamond, this is sort of the second diamond. And a lot of times you need to iterate and bounce between the two. So we'll talk a little bit, definitely more about process and product. And let me pass out your own little draw quads. So pass these around. Because again, kinesthetic, you gotta get your hands on stuff. You guys remember these? What'd you call them? Cootie catcher. What else? Fortune teller. Yep. Anyone else have other names? These are the two I most often hear. Anyway, so in this you've got the model. Ta-da! Your very own copy, yay! And on the other side, I've got an empty template for you. So as you listen to talks today, I hope what you'll do is just see where the thoughts are going, what sort of quadrants they fit in. Again, this is simply just an opportunity to share a model that hopefully will help broaden your definition of drawing, hopefully help you take people into different quadrants depending on the kind of work you're doing. So that's it. That's the draw quad.